Hello leaders, this is NavIQ here, and I thought the world is going through a difficult time and there's plenty of information there, and I've also put something out about the pandemic and everyone's experiences and whatever else. But the world continues and we need to move and look beyond that. So I wanted to discuss a topic totally different, something that is quite personal to me, and I'm sure will be personal to all of you. Maybe some of you have experienced this, others may not have experienced this, and it'd be good to see what you have to say. And it's the idea of what you would call an imposter syndrome. And you might have gone through that, the imposter syndrome, particularly professionally. I certainly have gone through that, and allow me to share some pieces of information with you in terms of my experience. Now, I am currently, 37 years old. I know I look older, but trust me when I say to you I'm 37 years old. And I've been a principal just less than, but touching on nearly 9 years. In October it will be 9 years. Which means I started as a principal really young. If you look at it from an apprenticeship point of view, if you will, and a stereotypical point of view, a school head teacher or principal that you'll remember would probably be in the 50s, late 40s, 50s and 60s. Most of them in the 50s and 60s. And that certainly is the case or has been the case traditionally in the UK. So when you have a 29, 30-year-old head teacher of a reasonable size primary or middle school, and when I would go to meetings with the principals, I honestly felt like an imposter, and I would always doubt myself, and that was always an issue. Other times what might happen is, and that's absolutely fine, and I'll talk about that a little bit. Other times in your profession you might feel it as well. It may be because of your age you feel like an imposter. There have been times where I've been in meetings and I may have felt like an imposter because of the lack of representation in terms of the minority ethnic groups, with colleagues that were there with me, and perhaps I felt like an imposter because I'm a member of a BME community, if you will, and I had that, and I felt as though I had to work twice as hard for half as much sometimes. There may be times that you feel like an imposter because of your upbringing, or in my case, for example, you can tell from my accent, I come from Yorkshire, and I don't come from the Leafy Lane part of Yorkshire. I came from deprivation. So when I'm with colleagues who, and it's no fault of theirs to be quite honest, very nice colleagues, or when I go to a group or a conference and you may be involved in, you come from a working class background, let's just say, compared to a middle class background, that you feel like you're an imposter. As you excel professionally in your career, there may be moments that you are in now a social circle, a professional circle, that you may feel like an imposter when it comes to perhaps your age, when it comes to your ethnicity, when it comes to your social class historically, what you were brought up with, your traditions, your values. And the only thing I've got to share with you here, and the reason I'm being personally sharing this information with you, is because that puts you at an advantage, because you either take the approach of, I'll be nice but don't care, and you can take higher, better, more calculated risks and therefore have a higher success rate, or it keeps you sharp and you work harder and more effectively, more diligently, and eventually when you do succeed, and you will, you surpass others around you. So my advice to you is embrace the feeling. If you have that, you will doubt yourself, but channel that doubt and make it something more. For example, I know so many people, and I'm an advocate of this, of women in leadership. There's certain positions, and then beyond that, unfortunately, I don't see as many ladies in these positions. So they may feel this way, and particularly when you come from a BME community, it's even harder. And this is not about color. Some of my friends who've come from deprivation, who've come from an English family, for example, who feel the same way. So if you do feel this way, channel it appropriately, keep trying, use that feeling of an imposter syndrome positively, and it will help you. I know this is an emotionally invoking topic, but it's personal to me. I'm going to be honest and frank with you as a principal. That's something I've always promised you. It's not always going to be crisp and pristine, the topics I talk about, and this is certainly one of those. Share with me your opinions as professionally and as courteously as you possibly can in terms of how you feel, or have you felt like an imposter in your profession, and what did you do about it. Thank you for listening. Please share this video, like, subscribe, support the channel. Tell me what other topics you want me to discuss, or maybe share my experiences. I'm happy to do that. Until the next time.